How many people are online?
There's 5.
Make us the spotlight.
You are the spotlight, that's the problem.
Yeah, click that window that's with the meeting room. Can you click that?
Says, oh, here. There.
There we go.
Morning, Mr. Pearl. Good to see you. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good.
I'll call this meeting to order for the purpose of a work session at 9:31.
Asher was here.
Sweattick is here. We have Chief Sentner, Chief Rosenbaum, and Superintendent Bahari. Some nice folks in the audience.
Don't say folks with a plural.
He's a folk.
They're all township employees except for Mr. Pearl.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
They're all paid to be here.
Somebody else.
And the fine ladies from Ed. All right. Have at it.
You want them to start or?
Yeah, we can cut them loose. Go ahead.
I really don't have anything of big stuff. The floor project is coming along very nicely. Jack got to see it yesterday, as a matter of fact. So that's moving right along. We'll be conducting employee new officer interviews Thursday evening. Mike Schroll and Bobby Gabriel will be doing that first round of those. So I think that's about it. It's kind of a peaceful, non-drama week so far.
Yeah, nice.
So,
Knock on wood.
Yep. That's it. I really don't have much.
Well, that was simple.
It was.
Anybody have anything, Chief? Welcome to blast off if you want.
I will probably do that. We got a number
Before
of things.
you leave, I just wanted to talk to you and Chief Gerstenbaugh about the movie. I have started the paperwork for the licensing fee.
Okay.
For the licensing rights and then the fee. And it will be The Sandlot. That will be the movie that we are playing on the 27th. And that's all I've got. Monarch Movies, who's running it, called me last week. They were going to come out here and just kind of survey the area to make sure it would work. And she said,
Awesome.
"Bye." So
Great.
So
that's where we're at.
it'll be at Bronger's, correct?
Yes.
So is there plans if we need to move it inside?
There is
in
yet
case
a
of
rain
weather?
delay. So if it rains out, then we get another date that we can choose from. So
I just want to make sure that if that, hopefully does not happen, but
Yeah.
then we make sure the bays are cleaned out.
Yeah.
So we can.
I will be
accommodate
watching
that.
the weather as it
Okay.
comes closer.
Well,
But
thank you
yeah.
for doing this. I
Yeah.
know that all the officers are happy to vote yes on taking care of that. I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I do too. Thank you.
I agree.
for-
I agree.
Thank you for hosting it.
Well, you're welcome. And, hopefully this will continue and it'll just be, into next summer and just, we see, Sharon Township with their circle and Litchfield, they're always doing things. I think it's awesome that we're going to get to do some of that stuff
Good.
for the
I'm
community.
excited.
So, and we're really happy to be part of it. So
I'm very
awesome
happy to
idea
hear
on
that.
your part.
Thank
Thank you. I think I don't really have anything else. That's about it. Chief, it's all yours. I'm gonna
Oh,
go back-
thank you.
I'm gonna
Enjoy.
go back to work. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Chief.
Everybody have a great day.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Now you can say folks. No.
Now you can
He almost went down.
Shaking out Suzanne.
It's all those chairs over there.
It's my fault. We had higher expectations, I guess, for
Chief.
version.
I reached out to Jackson Comfort. As you remember last time I asked them, we're going to make one. They're going to do the front and rear. They quoted me for 2, so it'll be to do the front admin area and the cruise quarters. It'll be $1451.90 to make it 2 thermostats to control, which they are really thinking that's going to save on wear and tear, fuel consumption, electricity consumption, and all that for us. I will have the quarterly reports as well. And the only other thing I have is I'm waiting on the quotes. Our engine had to go in last week for brakes. It needs drums and pads on it all the way around. It'll be a $4,000 or $5,000 repair for those drums and brakes on that truck. So I'm waiting for that. They're currently waiting for the manufacturer to figure out which pads they need We're going to start training on to potentially avoid coming down the hill. It has air brake, or has the Jake brake on it, but we're going to try and avoid the hill on it because it's a smaller truck. So they also think that with it being a little bit smaller truck than the big trucks that we have, the brakes on these hills are wearing faster on it. When I talked to the salesman about it, make sure nothing from the company could be done. They're like, no. He goes, the newer brake materials are seeing wear faster on some of these. So we're going to look at trying to avoid, like I said, avoid the big hill on it. And I have reached out to one of my instructors that teach at Tri-C to have them come in and talk about dynamic braking on these commercial
There's no
vehicles.
Jakes on there, is there?
Huh?
There's no Jake.
There's Jake brakes on there. Yeah. There's different settings, and we were concerned because on the high one will slow you down so fast. Because it doesn't throw brake lights on. We were afraid that we were going to keep it on high, and just tell guys be conscious of if somebody's tailgating you or something like that on there. But the high really slows you down. So we're going to do that. And the other parts for the tanker, they're still trying to find because it's so old. They're still trying to give me price quotes on that.
And just for a little backstory for you, Jack, we had talked about the brakes yesterday because that was my reaction also when he said,
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
They had said because it's they're smaller brakes for an engine that big, and they had said coming down the big hill and then parking it right in the station right away, it's not giving it a
You're
cool down. So we talked about and just said, maybe instead of coming down the big hill, going down Stony Hill to Bellis, so that you're not hitting that big hill, so that it's gonna hopefully help get a little bit more life out of the new brakes.
Yep.
Problem solving.
I mean, can they use the Jake and then apply the?
We're going to. They can do it, and we're going to review the dynamic braking and the stab braking better with the guys.
Right.
But when I talk to the salesman who's been doing it for a long time, it's like if you have significant hills in your areas that are going to wear brakes down, and he just goes, it's a smaller truck than the big ones, so they're different sizing on it compared to the big tanker and the big engine that we have. So unfortunately and when I talked to Williams up there, the other thing he said is right now he goes, drums are outrageous on pricing. He goes, they're the record he's ever seen.
Everything is.
Yeah, I know exactly. That's all I have.
Very good. Anybody else have anything for Chief Rosenbaum? Chief,
Thank you very much. Have a good day, guys. I will be. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I meant to ask you yesterday. Where are we at with the concrete and the fence?
Oh, so the fence we're not doing until we get the concrete in.
Right.
I talked to Rocco last week, who is way behind because he only has 5 employees right now. He's struggling, so he's like, I'm trying. He goes, you're on my agenda, but I have these other jobs that I have to get done.
Okay.
So the plan was reach out today or tomorrow to find out where we're
still
at.
thinking August?
Yeah, he wants it done in August.
Okay.
The guy, Dan, dug out, we transplanted one of the bushes up front. The other ones, we had no room. My mother-in-law helped me transplant the bushes, and then that's ready to go. All he's got to do is lay the concrete. And then I went with Gus to Home Depot to look at fencing and stuff. So we found some colors and stuff. We're just trying to wait till that comes in. Then they're going to do it. They're going to go ahead and get the stuff they need. And then I will be out of town Thursday, coming back Friday to Buffalo, New York. So I'll have my phone on me if anybody needs anything.
Does any of that stuff you're doing over there need permitting?
Yes, we got the fence permits.
I want to ask you
Sure.
something.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay, yeah, finalized it. Yeah, I reached out to them and got that, where they pointed that out to me. I didn't know we needed fence permit. So we're getting all squared away.
Very good.
Thank you, guys.
Enjoy
want
the
now?
concert.
Thank you.
Michael?
How's everybody doing today?
You say Michael like I say it to my son. Michael. Such a parent.
One of the things I have to bring up, truck 11 went into Rush just to get some engine diagnostics done on it. They have an estimate here of $12.81 right now, and that's going to include an additional couple hours for they found some back pressure issues with it. This is just an estimate to keep them going. I just wanted to get, a couple answers from you guys just to get the approval to keep the truck moving up there. It's probably going to go up a little bit if they find any part issues. So, but hopefully not too much.
Do what you can to keep them in check.
I
know.
No, they did a couple flashes on the ECM. They said that helped out. They did a couple force regens. They said it was 40% full, and they got down to 2% on the regen issues on the exhaust. So that'll help out. But they just we're just trying to get this truck ready for plow season is the main thing. So we can do a lot in house, but anything that deals with computers and hooking up a scan tool, it's not worth us to buy that type of equipment. It's not to say we can't do it, but it's just not worth the investment. So it doesn't happen very often, but when it does, we just need to have everything ready to go. So we're ready for snow and ice. That's just pretty much preliminary right now for all these trucks. So just want to keep things moving on them pretty much.
Anything on the, did you hear back on the other, the big piece? The big piece truck?
Supposedly, so I called that guy, he called me back today. The state bid guy should have a quote today or tomorrow, he said. We'll see. I've been told that before. So, the other guy said he's still waiting to hear from Sourcewell for Sourcewell pricing.
Mm-hmm.
So, just kind of in limbo right now. Other than that, update on Kovac fence. They have everything ripped out. All the posts set. They just got to string the fence. I don't know if they're just letting the concrete set and cure before they do it. I'm guessing. So once that's done. Historic, there was a couple items you had. I know the guys already painted the lines. They already trimmed trees. Painting, we can do it, but figure's probably going to be about a week with all the guys scraping and painting. And probably how we would go about doing it is just we'll do a wall at a time if we do it. That way we can still keep up on our day-to-day stuff. And, if we get some good weather here, we'll take a look at it. So
5-man days, but spread them out.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, because we still got a lot we want to try to get done before the winter season. So got 4 pallets of crack seal down so far. 3 more to go, hopefully. So been keeping at it. It's quite a bit of crack seal.
As we sit here, I saw a reply from the architect for Bethany. So take a look at that and
Perfect.
See if it encompasses everything that you want down there. He says around $300K.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, as long as we can get everything done for that price, it should be good to go. So,
okay.
Oh, did they have a date for the Edison, or the time for the Edison thing Thursday?
Yeah, 8:30 to 9:30.
8. Okay, same time. Okay, perfect. That way I know to schedule for everything on that. So,
okay.
Other than that, that's about it.
To de-energize power lines so that they can take down some standing dead trees.
Is she going to reach out to me before they do that?
I don't know. I will give you their number, though, her number.
That way I can talk with her. Even if they can just do some cover up, they don't have to de-energize it, but as long as they put cover up on the lines, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
So that's totally up to them, though. So it's their utilities.
I'm happy somebody called back.
Mm-hmm. It can be a challenge sometimes.
Does that take care of the issue at Bridge and Manning?
No, that's my own personal one, so there's several utility poles that are issues in township that have been for a while, and I just been going back and forth with First Energy for months, and finally got someone to talk with me locally, so that was a good thing. Their issue is they've reached out to utilities to take the comm lines off those poles, and they're not getting any response from utilities. So I was literally on the phone for 6.5 hours the one day trying to reach each utility. And that was only talking to 4 different utilities. But I was able to get reactions from them, and most of them, and First Energy now has the update. I'm thinking maybe within a couple of weeks here, we might be able to actually see that taken care of. So.
Did we ever come up with answers with what we wanted to do with the Otarma, like the removing the bleachers from the ball fields and some of the suggestions we had talked about maybe a month ago.
I don't think we came up with a decision yet on what we're to do with that. So,
But the couple of bleachers we talked about, and it's
They're expensive.
more costly to put the
Right, you had talked about maybe just eliminating the
That's-
bleachers.
creating
I noticed,
a area for people who bring their own chairs.
so like for Cloverleaf, we play at Lafayette a lot. And I noticed the township where their bleachers were, they're gone. So
Yeah. I mean, the fence is getting ready, right? Getting ready to be put up and fall ball starts this week. So wondering if we wanted to make a decision on that next week with just
I said,
eliminating
yeah,
it,
that's what I would like to do.
just eliminate them.
Yeah, I think they're way underutilized for the cost that would be necessary, and there's more than enough space for folks to.
Yeah, I mean, nobody ever sits in them.
Right.
I mean, I do because I'm the scorekeeper, so I have to sit right by home plate, but I can bring my own chair and sit there. So, I mean, nobody's using them except all the hornets to make nests. So, all right, well, we don't need a motion for that, so we can just remove them. Just put it on the list.
Perfect.
And then I wanted to ask you where you were at with that road list with the developments and the roads for the website.
Like I said, the simpler the better. I just got to make up that list. So I got to go
Or
around.
can you just go through, I mean, I can come and meet you, or if you can just go through and highlight the ones that are currently on the website that are part of the developments, and we can just list the developments instead of having all the roads.
Yeah. That's,
Because specifically like Brookside Estates that has a ton of roads that we
Yeah.
can get that eliminated from the website. So you and me could do that, because I was hoping to have that to them by the end of the week, because we're meeting with them again next week because we're getting ready for final touches.
We could probably help you do that, Mike, from our end.
this week's going to be a challenge just with everything going on with the pre-con meeting, trees with Edison Thursday. I mean, possibly
Thursday,
Friday.
the 18th, Thursday, the 18th.
Oh, I thought it was Thursday this week. Okay. I got to switch that on my calendar then.
Or if I print it up and highlight the ones that I know and send it over to you, and
That-
you can,
Yeah.
would
that'd
that be
fine.
better?
Yeah, if you can.
We
Okay.
could probably just do that in-house. So the subdivisions, you're just gonna list the subdivision and completely remove, like not have a drop down for that subdivision to say X, Y, and Z roads.
Yep, Brookside Estates or McKee Trail or
Why
Trails at
are we
Redwood Falls.
listing any at all then? I mean, why are we listing any at all? Would be my question.
because there's a lot of roads that are township roads that do not fall within a development.
But if we're not gonna list all roads, why are we listing any?
Because if we put Brookside Estates, that's going to encompass all the roads in Brookside Estates.
But
It
then,
makes it
to
simpler.
her point, then, are we listing every road in Hinckley?
They're already
In some
on there.
fashion?
Every road in Hinckley is already on there. But we're thinking to simplify that list because there's over 100
Yeah.
to eliminate.
The group.
Right. So Brookside Estates, remove those roads that are in Brookside Estates and just put Brookside Estates.
But if I don't know that,
I'm a part of Brookside Estates.
right, if I am an outsider, not a community member, and I was looking, how would I know that Valley Brook is in Brookside Estates?
What is the list of roads for?
For the website.
No.
But
Why is it-
Why is it on there?
Yeah,
I think we could just remove it.
I would say that would be the better.
I'm just
remove it?
tossing it out there, but I think we should just remove it, just
Yep.
as a point of discussion.
I would agree.
It's off the list.
It seems more work to maintain than, especially with the new roads that are coming. And I don't understand the purpose of it.
Yes, sir.
Would it be better just to have like a map of all the roads?
There is a map on the website.
Very good.
It varies me all.
But thank you for thinking. Okay.
All good? Anybody, anything else, Mike?
All right, Mike, check that one off your to-do list. It's removed.
Perfect.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Suzanne?
I don't have anything today except that I'll be recording on recording reports for cemetery. Be gracious to present those.
Okay.
Anybody, anything for Suzanne? You are free to fly.
I'm gonna wait because I'm sure there's gonna be other discussion that we're taking.
Lynn?
I'm gonna let you. Should I bring it up? The,
I'm assuming this is
Sign
Campbell.
war? Sign war?
Oh, the sign war? Oh,
Yes.
yeah, I was going to bring that up.
Okay.
And then Kimball?
Kimball, starting to call on those wonderful delinquencies. I've got the list down to 60 from 80. And another one's coming off as soon as you sign certain things.
Got it right in front of me.
Just got a call from another one. Have not called to get the number of new residences in Hinckley yet. I'm waiting to do that until
From the auditor.
mid-August. Yeah, from the auditor.
Okay.
So mid-August to the 20th, I'm guessing was my cutoff according to the timeline.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, just working on those. That's it.
Okay. Because I have on my agenda that we are going to talk next week about the Kimball letter. We're going to have to start getting quotes from Angel Printing to print it up and postage because we'll have to make a motion. They don't necessarily have to make a motion at the next meeting.
But I have to start working on it.
Right.
Got it.
Well, and if you're not going to call the auditor until the 20th, so we're not even going to have a total number yet. So
No, we
we
can have
probably
an
could make a
estimate, though.
motion, and if we need to amend the dollar amount, we can do that just to get the,
We'll have an estimate based on what we had from last year, the ones that we found after the survey went
Right.
out, and the additional new constructions that we know about. So, I mean, we'll have an estimate. It won't be like an exorbitant
okay.
difference.
Okay.
Have anything else, Lynn?
No, I don't have anything else. I'm sorry.
Anybody have anything for Lynn? Okay. Yeah.
Okay, we can talk about the sign war that Lynn just brought up. We've been invited into the sign war by, was it the Donut Shop?
Yeah, well, actually, it was the
Stefanix.
Barber Shop.
Stefanix Barber Shop. Melissa had sent out an email last week about wanting to post a sign to participate in the sign wars. I just thought we should discuss it as a board, see if we want to do it or not.
I did not comment on it. I don't know or think if a government should be involved in that. We're not a business, and I would hate to have something go up there that might offend somebody in any way, shape, or form. I understand that there may be some fun involved, but I don't know that it should be us partaking of that, just because of that. That's my opinion.
I think it's a fun, positive thing that's happening right now in Medina County. The sign wars, I'm enjoying seeing them all, seeing pictures of them all. So it's just kind of nice that there's something positive going on to focus on. But I do tend to agree with you that I just think, there's going to be people who complain, and kind of rightfully so, we make really big decisions. We always have a lot of decisions on our plate of things that we have to think about. You don't want to send the wrong message of this is the priority instead of, you know, the decisions that we have to make the government function and the township function. So I don't really have a dog in the fight on this one, but that's kind of where I'm at. I'm right in the middle with it. I see the positive, but I also see the drawback to it. So I would think that if the chamber wants to do something, since the sign is on, you know, the chamber property, but I don't know that the township should.
Yeah, if it was coming from the chamber, an outside entity, I'd be fine with that, but
What chamber property?
The sign is on the chamber building.
are you talking about using the one at the historical building?
What chamber?
I'm sorry,
building?
not the chamber, the historical
That's still a
property.
township building.
Right, but if the message came from the Chamber of Commerce, I would think it would be better than coming from the township.
But do we let anybody else utilize that sign?
Well, chambers post meetings up there, and the historical side we do, don't they?
We do. When there's room available, we do. We're going to be hosting the community garage sale shortly. So.
For the Boy Scouts.
Can I weigh in on this or no?
Yeah.
Okay. I think it would be fun. I think it would be not harmful at all. And I think if you worry about what's going to be discussed as far as the naysayers are going to say naysayers, they're going to have something, they're going to find something to talk about no matter what. I think it would show that we are a part of this community because we are. I think we would represent the township. And I understand that there's, you know, if the government should get involved in it, but I think it'll be fun. I think that instead of being, you know, so everything's so negative in this wonderful world today, I think it would be a positive thing to do. And I have a lot of creative ideas that could fly with it, that wouldn't be, have a negative tone whatsoever. I think it should be fun. I think it could be fun. And I think it's important that, you know, that we get in on it because I think it would be something that would show a lighter side to things instead of just so serious all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion.
I think it would be fun. I agree with you. I just don't necessarily know that it would be recognized that we don't participate versus I think that it would be recognized by the people who are not happy about it if we do participate. That's my...
And I always fall back to, you know, we're not a business. We're government. We're here to help facilitate running this town.
But we are a part of this community.
We're part of the community, but we are not a business. And all those things that are going on are businesses doing those little sign wars, taking shots at each other. I like you said, it's your opinion, it's my opinion that I think it could have a negative impact.
I kind of look at it as, here's an analogy, I love analogies. I look at it as cleaning the baseboards, right? Nobody notices when they're clean, but everybody notices when they're dirty. So that's kind of what I would look at with that, is that I don't really think anybody's going to notice other than, you know, those who challenged the township versus the people who would notice, you know, if we get in on it and are not happy with it.
Are you going to let the naysayers control what you do though? It's just...
Nope. And we are trying to get the community involvement. That's why I'm so happy that we have the movie nights coming back. So that's something that the entire community can enjoy.
Okay.
Folks have any
I
thoughts?
was going to say audience.
No thoughts?
No, it explains the sign I saw in Brunswick. I couldn't understand it, so it's sign wars, huh?
Yeah, it's Medina County. Medina County started it in actual Medina.
No, it's actually nationwide.
Is it nationwide?
Yeah, it started in Minnesota or
Yeah,
Wisconsin or something like that.
Well, what does Melissa want to do? Because she's not here, right? She's not piping in at all.
Right. No, she sent the email that she wanted to do it, and I said we could discuss it at work session. Okay. No.
She has thoughts, she's just not saying them.
No, I really, doesn't make a difference to me. It's a fun thing, but there are some very creative ideas out there.
Yes, there.
Okay. So we are not participating.
None of this time, if Melissa wants to come back and, make a case for it.
Okay. Let's move on to the website because there's a couple of things that I want to discuss with you. We are removing the road list. Now, we talked about the community page we're just going to have the school links and the government, Medina County and the government links. We have removed, I told her to take the churches off because she ported the churches over. And we had said no to churches. We had said no to nonprofit. Now, what Proximity had recommended is having, because right now the website is not consistent. Like right now we have the school links, but then we also have Highland Youth Soccer link. But that's it. That's the only youth sport or sport through the school. So Renee had suggested having a link for all of the sports, for football, for cheerleading, for soccer, for rugby, lacrosse, tennis, golf, swimming. And initially I was thinking, okay, that would be nice because I have difficulty navigating the school website, trying to find that stuff. But then I started making a list of how many sports there are and Highland and Brunswick. So Suzanne had thought maybe it's too much information. And after looking everything up and writing it down, I am inclined to agree with Suzanne on it. So I wanted to know. No.
Again, I don't know anybody who would go to a township website to look up school sports.
Got it. All right. The other thing that they had sent me, which we had discussed in our last meeting with Proximity, is with the meeting minutes, that's where we were going to have the YouTube channel and the meeting minutes. Currently, we have the meeting minutes and past agendas. My thoughts are, why do we have past agendas posted? Agendas are fluid. They change throughout the meetings. Things get crossed off the agenda. Things get added to the agenda. The agenda for me is just knowing what's planned for, what's going to be discussed. Do we need to have past agendas posted on the website?
I would say an agenda for an upcoming meeting is one thing, but once it's done, it's done. I mean, there's nothing that guarantees that everything that's on there was addressed.
Right. I agree. Does anybody in our audience have?
I find the agendas very useful.
Past agendas?
Or, yes. I go back to them to see when something started.
But you would see that in the minutes.
Well, you got to go through all the minutes. The agendas are very brief. They're a synopsis.
And what if it wasn't discussed?
Pardon?
What if it wasn't discussed at the meeting?
Well, if you find it on the agenda, then you can go to the minutes and figure out exactly whether it was discussed or not, or what was said. Or was it postponed to the next agenda? I find it useful. I print them out and keep them.
Well, there, you already have them.
Well, but sometimes I'm lazy and I have to go back and find them.
Jackson.
How long is it between the meeting happening and the minutes being posted though? Because what if someone wants to view it like the day after the meeting? From what I understand, the meetings usually aren't posted that fast, so they aren't able to see what happened yesterday.
It's generally about 2 weeks when the meeting minutes are posted. And that is why we are going to be creating a YouTube channel so that you can actually, the video will be posted as soon as it's uploaded. So you don't have to wait the 2 weeks for that.
So will the agenda be taken down as soon as the meeting happens or once the minutes are posted?
It'll be taken down when the next agenda is posted.
Okay.
With the new website. Currently, the agendas, Jackson, are on there for up to 2 years, and then you drop them every 2 years.
And you can always request a copy of it.
Which puts someone to work as
Well,
opposed to finding it yourself.
Right.
in the Ohio Revised Code, it doesn't require you to post any agendas, and it's only a guide to help the meeting along, so there's something to follow.
Mhm.
Outside of that, printing the agendas or posting them is not an Ohio Revised requirement.
Mhm. Or including the agenda with the meeting minutes. Is that just creating another step?
Yeah, because then there's another step to combine them
Mm-hmm.
after they're finalized and posted.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
I do like to use the agenda as an index if I'm going back in time, just to look for maybe when it was, say, a hearing on property or something. Just so I can figure out what month it occurred. I have done that myself, so, and then I go to the minutes to read through, and I understand that the minutes and the agenda may not totally coincide, but it is helpful as an index for a while at least.
When the agenda is, because I haven't seen what they're doing yet, when the agenda is posted, is it posted into a folder that, click here for agendas, and it has the current one in there?
It's going to have the dates, and then it's going to have the attachments underneath each date. So like August 16th, it will have, if we include the agendas, it will have meeting agenda, it will have meeting minutes, and YouTube of meeting. So they will all have links or attachments
So
underneath the
before
date.
the meeting occurs, it's just going to have agenda in there.
I don't know how.
That doesn't, we're going to have,
What I'm trying to get at is if you're already putting it there, then what does it matter when you take it out? You can take it out after the 2 years, or you can take it out after the meeting. But if it's already in there, I don't care if it stays in there, but if it's another step to put it in there, you follow what I'm saying?
I don't know how they're designing it to do that. Currently, I add it and it stays there until
Why don't
it drops
we
after 2 years.
it's
look
going
and
to
see what
have,
they-
well, what we're going to have right now, and I'll ask Renee, what we're going to have is a quick link on the home page. Actually, I think it's a button. It's going to be a button that you can see on every single page, and you can click on for agenda. So no matter what page you're on the website, you will be able to click on that button and see the agenda for the upcoming meeting.
And it will have 3 categories: trustees, board of zoning appeals, zoning commission. And then you click on that and then you'll see specific to those.
With certain things on the website, you can actually, when you're posting to the website, you should be able to, and I'm not sure if Renee is working on this or not, but you should be able to post it at a certain time and then have it removed, like an automatic. So it gets posted and then it gets removed by a certain time. So you can set it up however you want to. You should be able to. I mean, we would have to double check with Renee, but when you upload something to a website, you can have it like expire at a certain time and it just gets removed automatically.
And that's, I think, how we currently have both our minutes and our agendas.
So it doesn't, that is not an issue. It's just a matter of, do we really want to put everything up there and take up the space in the cloud for the
And that's like
minutes?
10K. It's nothing.
Right.
Is that what we're currently doing? Because like there were meeting minutes and agendas that were well over 2 years old on the current website.
There should only be 2 years.
Yeah, because I told her to stop when she got beyond 2 years, porting everything over. because I went back there and it's well over 2 years. That's currently on the website.
That's actually on the website? or
That's
just
on
in
the website now.
background?
No, that's on the website now because that's where she was calling me. She's like, do we have to port all this over? Because it's taking a lot of manpower, a lot of hours. So it's costing us more.
Are they
To have
published
everything.
or are they unpublished that she's seeing? Well, anyway, we'll.
I mean, I clicked on them. They were there. So
Okay.
But the index from today's website, it only goes back to 2021, if I recall.
So they could
Like,
be just
They
stored
could
up
just
there.
be sitting there, but
Visible.
not clickable from the website.
But we kind of need to know what the structure is, what the file structure is on the site. And how that button is coded. Does it look for a specific file name, or does it look for the most recent file? Or is it just looking in a location where there's one file and it pulls it from there? I don't know.
It could be any of those, just depends on what
Right, that's what I'm asking. So if it's looking for the most recent one, then you can just keep putting them in there and have it automatically remove those that are dated. Then it doesn't matter if you keep them in there, it's not taking up much space to speak of at all.
mhm. Okay.
I think the whole point of it was, do we want to clutter up this website like the other, like could happen? Or do we want to make it simplified and to the point and get it out there and just.
Yeah, but a list of files by date doesn't really clutter it up that if you go in and look at it and they're listed by date, and they're all the same, agenda, regular trustee meeting agenda and a date on there.
And utilizing the retention schedule helps because once the agenda's over, the retention schedule has a time period where we can dispose of them based on it. So we wouldn't even have to keep that history for agendas. It's a transient correspondence.
Mhm.
Transient, it's not.
I just X'd out of it. But yeah, it goes back to January 1st of 2020 if we still have meeting minutes.
2020, you say?
January 1st,
So 2
2020.
full years.
Two full years, yes.
Okay. Okay.
And that's the marker drop after that.
Okay, the photographs, Renee said that you sent her your updated photograph to the website. So we were going through tab by tab and we saw like our police department, maybe 60% of the officers have photos. So I sent an email, I think I copied you on this, to Chief Sentner. We're getting updated photographs for all of our police officers. For our fire department, we are going to have, we currently have a couple of pictures for our fire department. We thought to make it simpler and cleaner, we're going to have our fire chief and Jen Amburn, and then the 5 lieutenants will have pictures under the fire tab. Not all of our firemen. We wish we could, but there's so many of them. And then for zoning and zoning appeals, we had looked at other cities and township websites, and Proximity had suggested, why don't we have pictures of our zoning board as well, headshots of them, which I think is a good idea. Those are public roles that they are in meetings. So I had sent an email requesting that, and Melissa wanted that discussed. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. I hate putting my picture anywhere. So I mean, if you list the board, I think that's sufficient. Yeah, they replied. Do they have any objection to it?
Well, they didn't reply because Melissa did.
What if instead of headshots, it's just like a group picture?
It changes. It changes.
I think
It can change
that's
up
one of the
to a
problems
year.
with putting the photos from any of them is you're constantly dogging that if there's a change in person.
Yeah, I mean, my personal, proximity suggested it, and I like associating a face with the name. That's just how my brain works. So I thought it was a good idea to have it because they are all board members. They sit up at the tables at least once a month, all of them representing the community. So I thought it was nice for people to have a face with the name.
I know there was discussion in the past with the boards and all of the members, the majority did not want pictures. They didn't mind their names being listed. And then I think it should be choice too. I mean, I don't think it should be.
I think I would be okay with choice. I mean, I think in the past, we have relatively new boards, zoning appeals, not as new, but we have some new members on zoning appeals, but zoning board, this is a relatively new zoning board that we have.
I would say reach out to them, feel them out, but I think it should be all or none, right? Otherwise, keep it consistent.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I reached out to the police chief because I said, well, we only have like 60% of the department photoed on here, so we should get them all if we're going to have
I think there are pictures on every one of their timesheets. How is that possible?
because they're just not loaded onto the website.
Oh,
Probably. But Mike sent out an email to everybody because like Kumi's is from 2006.
high
So
school
he
pictures,
said, anybody wants an updated photo before it's posted on the website? I think Mike's taking care of that this week and sending it to Proximity. Just said they were going to work on that this week, but Jen's out all week. So hopefully next week we'll have it. And I mean, like Proximity has said, we don't need this stuff. By the end of this week, we can always add things in, but we want to make sure I'm not saying, yeah, let's do this. And then the board says no to this. So, all right. So you're comfortable with that. I will reach out to both zoning boards again.
Yeah, I'm comfortable either way. If they just want to list their names, I think that's fine. But the composition of the board, I don't think that's a bad thing to have it listed there.
Okay.
Yeah, if I wasn't harassed into sending mine in, I wouldn't have.
I just requested it. I would not say it. I think that's all I have. Kimball on website.
Well, the only other thing I have is that the auditor of state required us to do a fuel use in that monitoring policy. And that's what I bothered Martha with last night, sent her the email of the initial draft. So once she takes a look at it, if she's okay with what's in the content, I'll bring it to the board to look at. And we'll have to decide if we want that to be a standalone or part of the handbook. But it would definitely be something that each employee would be required to review. All it really states in there is, you get gas, you got to use this system. That's it.
Okay.
So,
We don't have a timeline yet on that handbook, do we? I thought it was going to be the end of July.
and
But initially it was the end of July. Did it get postponed?
didn't she say it was the end of August then? She made a mistake and
Yeah, it was in the work session, I think. Not, well, it might have been last one, but definitely the one before.
Okay.
And the young lady doing it sent an email. I saw that where she had mentioned that. Mr. Pearl, anything?
Okay.
Young lady?
That CRA thing, that person from the county was here and she talked about, Hinckley having an opportunity to come up with their own set of incentives or whatever. Is she coming back or And she provided us samples. I think she said she was gonna provide the township with some samples.
She provided samples to us. She's actually coming back to our next work session meeting
Okay.
in 2 weeks, which we may want to postpone that. I was thinking about reaching out to her because Melissa was not ready to talk about it last work session when I wanted to know thoughts on it. So I'm thinking we should discuss it and come up with our ideas before we invite Bethany back to talk to the board. What do you think?
Yeah, so it might be better to do it next work session. So,
Right, in September?
yeah, push her off.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you. That was something that I was thinking of last time and then that would be first meeting. So that would be the 13th. And let me know about that.
Maybe the 6th.
The 6th will be a regular meeting. It was the 23rd that she was coming out, right?
So.
I don't have it in my calendar, but I thought that's what we had said.
Oh, I never thought, just to throw it out there, since you got that 30th, you could change your work session from 23rd to 30th.
I want to have the board be able to discuss our thoughts on it before we actually discuss it with Bethany. Does that make sense?
Oh, right.
So
okay.
I was thinking if the board discusses it on the 23rd to see what our thoughts are on it and kind of come up with our own game plan and then talk it through and work it through with Bethany, then the following work session.
Okay. Everything.
That's what I was thinking. I don't know if we're
That
on the
makes
same
sense.
page.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else? Anything for the good of the order? That being said, we'll adjourn at, do we need a motion to adjourn? No.
Yeah.
Motion to adjourn?
Second, 10:23.
Adjourn at 10:23.